Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Undergrounds Voice ao vivo. Os meus convidados de hoje, Wolfheart. Thank you so much for being here. Huge honor to meet you. Really, really, it's a huge honor. Welcome back to Portugal.
Thank you.
Welcome to Oporto. You've been here last 2 years ago.
Yeah. With Swallow the Sun we tour.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you remember about this gig?
Of that gig, not much. I was also the tour manager of that tour, so it was a really messy time for me to do the tour managing and doing the gigs at the same time. So to me, it was just this continuous hassle of 3 weeks that I was just trying to survive. So I didn't have any time to go and see much of places. And first thing that when bus arrived to any city, I started working with the schedules of the drivers or the venue staff or whatever. So I was just completely full booked. So I think I remember we had exactly the same backstage, we had the same venue. So I remember these surroundings, but nothing else.
What can you expect about tonight and tomorrow in Lisbon too?
Like I said, I don't remember much, so I hope it's going to be a good night. We did some gigs, played more in Lisbon in RCI Club. So that I know better because I've been there with different gigs also. So it's gonna be really cool tomorrow. But this is kind of like my first time as the only musician in this venue.
I already did a lot of interviews, and everyone or almost everyone say that the Portuguese crowd is wild, is insane. Do you agree with that? How can you compare the Portuguese crowd, if you remember, with the crowd in your country?
It's wild. To be able to label as insane requires quite much. But it is a really good audience, and difference to Finnish audience is that Finnish audience needs to be drunk to be a good audience. The Finnish people are very preserved, and especially all the gigs in Finland are really late because of that reason. Nobody comes to the venue at 7 o'clock. Like it doesn't matter how good the supporting bands are, people are drinking at home because they want to be drunk when they come to the venue, and the more drunk Finnish people get, the more insane Finnish audience gets. So Finnish audience basically skip the wild part. They just get drunk enough to be insane in the end, which is not usually a good thing either, because it's but there's a cultural difference when it comes to alcohol that differs Finnish audience from the rest of the world.
You're one of the most creative and active artists that I know. You release a lot of albums, a lot of material with a lot of bands and projects. How can you get so much creativity in all these years?
I get that question quite often, but to me it's really just a normal thing, because like writing one album in 1 year means that I write less than one song in 1 month. Which, if you're a songwriter, that is not much. Like you have 4 or 5 or 6 weeks for just to come up with one song, and if you continue that pace, you easily get 1 album per year. And so to me, it is not that. I always wonder that question in a way, because to me it's natural thing. Always when I play guitar, piano, or drums, I'm trying to come up with something new and interesting. Not more. I never been much like a rehearsing to master the instrument. I use all the instruments as a tools to write music. So always when I play some instrument, even today before soundcheck, when I had 5 minutes time, I was trying a few new ideas. That's what always happens when I touch any kind of instrument. So not coming up with any ideas in 1 month would be impossible. Because every day I sit down for one of the instruments, if possible, with schedules, and try to come up with something new. So to me it's not like I'm trying to keep up the tempo with the album, so it's just...
Well, you're a genius. I think you're a genius. And if anyone have any doubts about it, the latest album is a big proof of that. It's really a masterpiece. How's been the feedback of this album?
It's been really good. It's been really good. I'm especially happy that the fans of the older stuff are still with us, because now the contrast between the first album and this album is started to be quite big. Like the Winterborn was different music style almost. Like we are more a lot heavily into like this melodic black metal with a lot of orchestration that we didn't have any on the first album. And the songs are, the structures are different. I think the first album was more like Before the Dawn, like built around the chorus. Now songs are going over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So the songs are more like a bigger stories than just individual short songs. So a lot of things are like gradually changing, but still the fan base is with us from the early albums, and we've been able to expand the fan base still. So I think that is that's the new kind of music still works for the whole fan base. That is more important than individual media.
Yeah.
Because you can never predict that. There's just a lot of times it can be a reporter who didn't even want to do the review, and the editor just said, review this, you have 2 days.
Yeah.
And that will affect the outcome. So I think it's more important the feedback that I get from the fans that have been listening to numbers of my albums. So it's been really good.
The best thing about this album is the fact of it's not just 7 songs. It's kind of a story with 7 chapters. Do you agree?
And that is how I try to build the album. So it wouldn't be just like a top 10 or whatever songs of that particular era when I was writing, but like I always start to work as an album like how the drama, flow of drama would go, what it would be the first song and how it would build the album, and what kind of last song we would need. So it's always making the album as a whole and each song supporting this one big creation than just individual songs. Like I know a lot of songwriters that they write like 20 songs for an album and then they pick the 9 best. That would be impossible for me because I only write for the album. I never have any leftovers. It's just a different approach that I have, but I think that supports the idea that the album sounds more as a whole, because all the songs, each bar of every song, every melody is meant to support that album, not just to write shitload of stuff and then picking up the
best part. Yeah, it's the first album released via Napalm Records.
Yeah.
How's being worked with this great label?
It's been great. It's quite a big. Spinning Farm was a great label also, but not in the same scale.
Yeah.
And Napalm also like made it possible for us to start touring in North America, which is quite a big thing because I never done any tours in US with any of my bands before. So that was one of the main issues why we made the deal and we signed with the management that is also North American.
Yeah.
To be able to finally start like cutting off the biggest continent for metal music as a one country, that has been really frustrating. Like I love touring in Europe and Asia and Russia, but it is a big area not to be able to go. So
you already said a couple of times that Solitude, Darkness is some of your inspirations.
Yeah.
Can you say that you're a negative or a lonely person, or it's just the way you love to make music?
Well, I love to make music in those themes, and that is because I guess I am a negative person if you want to look at it that way, but I'm not like trying to be. I am quite of a lonely and sad person in a way. And that is the side that I reflect with the music. And writing music is kind of like my way of coping that sadness and loneliness. So I don't try to see things in a negative way, but it's just how I feel about things in general. So that is why I also constantly need to write music, because that kind of like grounds me. Like that's my anchor, and around that anchor I can get along a little bit better with the world surrounding me. If I wouldn't be able to make music, I don't know how would I deal with that.
Yeah, well, all the bands or almost all the bands always say that they can live without music or without making music. I think your case is one of the few that it's really true. You really breathe music. How's your relation with music?
I could live without touring, I could live without making albums, but I wouldn't be able to live without making music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to release the music, that wouldn't be the thing, but I would need to be able to write the music and get to listen to that music, because all the songs, there's a reason why they were written, not because of an album. I don't write the albums for like mainly for fans or labels. I need to do them for myself,
Yeah.
but when the album is done, I do see it as a product also. So then it's completely okay for me to give it to label, they release it, do the promotion, it changes the whole thing. But
Yeah.
I do need to write it for myself, so I wouldn't survive without music. I would survive completely without the music business.
Yeah.
That's a huge
No.
contradiction that I have. I don't particularly enjoy music business. It's a really shitty business. But that is part of, that is the thing that is allowing me to make the albums. So that is such a shitty part of the thing that I need for myself. So, but if you got the business out, I would be still okay. I would still make the music and
Yeah. Finally, thank you so much for being here. Once again, huge honor to meet you.
Thank you. It's all my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Last words for the Portuguese fans and the Underground Voice viewers.
Well, this is gonna be out after the show, so I'm not gonna say that we're gonna see you tonight or tomorrow, but we're gonna see you soon again.
Thank you once again.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Malta, Wolfheart, Underground Voice, nós voltamos em breve.